And good morning from another unannounced, unwelcome advance from your, what should I call myself? The Reverend, the good Reverend Bob from the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. What is happening, my friends? Man, I got some good buddies in the house today. My illegitimate bastard son Garrett is in the house. Monzi, brother Rob is in the house. Man, good to see you. Let's see, Don Arnold, another good buddy who's I don't know. Dawn, I don't know what you're doing all the time. You're everywhere. I just kind of see you on the road everywhere. Let's see. Oh, Marty from Rockland is in the house. Let's see. I guess a few of you guys are going to be joining today. That's cool. I totally didn't even prepare anything today. I'm sorry. I had nothing in the bucket. Man, I became a casualty over the weekend. Went to my local ham radio club meeting, and it's now winter here in Idaho. So go to the local ham radio club meeting. Then after the meeting, a bunch of us meet over at the airport for lunch. And dumbass me, I walk across the parking lot, hit some black ice, went down, messed up the old wrist here a little bit. Not broken, getting better. It's been 2 days, and it sounds or feels much better. I gotta play with the levels here on microphone number 2. I think it sounds, I don't know. Does it sound too hot? Let's see. Ricky Turnbull, GM0 VUI from Scotland. That is awesome. DX in the house, my friends. That is freaking cool. Okay. I got the little bit of hotness down from microphone 2 here, and microphone 1 I've got turned off. No lapel mic today. Anyway, welcome to a winter in Idaho from the Southern Idaho Command. Let's see. I'm in Fullerton. Marty is in Fullerton. Marty, weren't you in Rockland before? I could have swore you were in, I could have swore you lived in Rockland. I guess, hey, wrong Marty. Different Marty. Let's see. Monzi says, Idaho. When did I move to Idaho? Yeah. I know, Rob, if I was in Arizona, I wouldn't have slipped on black ice. If I was in California, I might have slipped on black ice because they've got plenty of it up where I lived. But yeah, been here in Idaho for a year now. Actually, coming up next week, it'll be a year exactly. So, let's see. Monzi says audio sounds good. Not my shooting hand, says the bastard child. Yes. Very, very important. Not the shooting hand. I can still, grab the 44 Magnum and do some cool stuff. Mr. Rice is in the house, says Bob or Spud Bob. Idaho Bob or Spud Bob. I don't know. Take your pick. I could care less. You can't hurt my feelings, says Spud Bob. Let's see. I am not. You're not Reverend Bob. You're the Grand French Fry. There you go. Garrett always comes up with the best stuff. Okay, I am henceforth to be known as the Grand French Fry. That is so freaking awesome. So, guys, today, nothing on the agenda. I figured you and I just get together for lunch and some BSing. So let's go over to the call-in lines. Anybody is welcome to call in or to jump on with video at the guest Ecamm Live link. And I guess you're going to have to type it in because I didn't put it into the description to make a link today because I just kind of did this willy-nilly. No thought. Or you can call in on the call-in line at 208-352-3819. It looks like, and I can't read it, it's Russian or Ukrainian or Slavic, something. Chonasobo something. Don't speak it. So whatever. But hey, thank you. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for hanging out here. Stephen LeBlanc from VE Land in the house. Very cool. Marty says no black ice where he's at. It's 70 degrees down there in Southern California. Very, very cool. So today I'm figuring, I'm just, you know what? Ask me anything. I don't care. Let's just kind of open it up here. Questions, ham radio questions, gun questions, Second Amendment, survival kind of stuff, prepping. Let's open it up. Let's have a discussion. Ron Bork asks, am I going to quartzsite? Unfortunately, this year, it looks like quartzsite's not going to be in the plans. Two reasons. Number one, father-in-law's in the hospital out in California. Mrs. K6 UDA is flying out this week, and I am probably flying out next week to take care of whatever we need to take care of out there. And number two, it's I still got snow on the ground. We still got very unpredictable weather, and I haven't been able to get the motorhome out of the motorhome garage to prep it or do anything to get ready to go to quartzsite. So hoping for next year we won't have the family drama, we won't have any of the other stuff going on, and we'll be able to get out of here with a motorhome in tow and hit the road and make it down to quartzsite. Let's see. Stay calm down the road in Kimberly. Hey neighbor, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Favorite D-Star reflectors from Scuba Stew. My favorite D-Star reflectors that I'm pretty much on all the time are 30 Charlie and 70 Charlie. 30 Charlie because a lot of guys I kind of know there. Haven't met a whole lot of them in person. A few I have. But friendly guys, it's a very active reflector. I really like that. There's always something going on there. They've got the D-Star HF testing net going on there several times a week. There's always somebody to talk to bounce stuff off of, and or get a signal report if nothing else. 70 Charlie, A lot of my old friends from California are hanging out on 70 Charlie. So a little bit lower paced. I can get on there. We could rag chew for a half hour. We're not bothering anybody, and we're not, keeping anybody else from using the reflector. And yeah, I do ask from time to time, or my friends will ask, anybody want to jump in? So let's see. What would be my recommendation? Stay Calm asks, what would be my recommendation for digital modes in the Twin Falls area? Stay calm, because let's see. Where is it? Over here. Stay calm. You're here in the local area. Fusion is really the way to go. There are several Fusion repeaters in town. I'm thinking 5 or 6 at the moment. Fusion repeaters coupled with Wires X. You could get on there for digital and basically talk to almost any ham equipped with digital in Idaho, because it's linked to the Treasure Valley. It's linked up into Idaho Falls area, Rigby, and I think up north also. There's a lot of repeaters that are linked up. So my personal recommendation on digital, if you're here in this area, is Fusion. Now there's one D-Star repeater over in Jerome, and it's kind of a challenge for me to hit it, especially on a handheld. I can if I, hold the radio just right, and I point, and I've got an antenna pointed across the gorge, I can kind of pick it up. But hey, let's see. Let's go back here. Favorite D-Star repeaters. Is it warm? Yeah. Oh, okay. Marty says it's warm here, but yeah, it's still California. Yeah, and it's cold here, but it's still Idaho. Call lines are open, 208-352-3819, or you can be a live guest on the eCam. All you need, you could literally point your iPhone at yourself, and it's almost like a FaceTime call. So, I'll take what I can get. And I'm going to pop that back up. Let's see. Recommendations. Monzi, thank you for the well wishes for my father-in-law. Let's see. How about Mr. Potato Head? Says Robin 133. Yeah. It could be. I'm really leaning toward the Grand French Fry, though, man. That's I think there's a new tagline. Bob K6 UDA, aka the Grand French Fry. Let's see. Question: is Kamala an alien lizard person from Mars? Yes, and she turned the frogs gay with the water that she generated. Thank you, Garrett. Always good. Always good to hear from you. Potato Head is copyright. Well, I don't care. When have I ever cared about copyright? And let's run back over to camera number 2. Let's see. And let's see. Good. Just very wet. Hey, Bob, hope all is well, from Andrew Murphy. Yeah. Everything is awesome. This, this will probably be on for another day or two, in case you missed it. Wow, 35 people on the stream right now. Totally unannounced stream. I want to thank you guys. 17 thumbs up. Beautiful. Thank you. Thumb still works, even in this, even in my hard little brace. Greetings, Bob from West Texas. Jim, W5JAP. Hey, thanks for checking in from Texas. Marty says C4FM is big in Southern California. Yeah, C4FM grew huge in popularity in Northern California, in the Sacramento area. We had several repeaters that started using C4FM, and the Fusion and Wires X and everything. That is that it's cool. I would say, honestly, Wires X as a user, Wires X Fusion is probably the easiest of all the modes to get on and use. And I would say second by D-Star. And the only reason is the registration process in D-Star takes a little bit more doing. And really, the radio setups are nothing in D-Star anymore. It used to be you had to have REF tags, and you had to do all this. You had to do all kinds of stuff in D-Star in the early years to get your radio to work on D-Star. And now that stuff has been automated within the radio. And really, where are you? Where are you? My ID 52 here, we'll pull that up, and I'll show you just how easy it is to go from, yeah. So here I'm monitoring, and we'll see if I can't get this focused here. Okay, so right now, monitoring Twin Falls PD. To get this to go into D-Star mode or into DR mode, I take the DR button down here. If I could see it, press and hold, boom, and there it is. Now that's set up for the Jerome repeater. And if I go down here, now that's the K6 UDA hotspot, which is here in Studio A. That's how easy it is. Whoop, hang on. That's how easy it is now to get into D-Star, where in the early years it wasn't. Fusion. And we'll run up here. Okay. So I've got, like my Wires X node is set up in there. Here's how easy it is in Fusion to go from analog to Fusion. Whoop, let me unlock. And come on. Where is it? Oh, come on. Oh, no, I got to do the mode over here. I'm thinking of the other radio. Sorry. And I won't do it right now because I just put it into another mode. Okay, here we go. Hit the mode button, and that's it. Analog, digital. So, as a user, much easier to do it in on the Fusion radios. Very, very user friendly. Little bit more work for D-Star. Not much. Let's see. What would be the biggest benefit? So Scott Ernsey says, what would be the biggest benefit to a general class upgrade? Really good question. A lot of guys get their tech license and they think, okay, this is all I need. I can get on, I can go out and buy a handheld. I can put a mobile like back here in my vehicle or in my shack, and I am good to go. And if you've got a digital radio, yep, you could talk around the world. I get it. There is something so magical about the world of HF, high frequency. And as a tech, you've got little slivers of HF, 10 meters, most notably between 28.300 and 28.500, which is a fairly large swath when you think about it. You've got voice privileges. And I'm going to kind of stick more toward the voice world on 40 meters and some of the other bands. You've got limited, mainly CW privileges on a few of those bands, pretty limited. But I'll tell you what, in an emergency, or if you wanted to get news or information from another part of the country or another part of the world, or if you're just fascinated with the fact that you could stick an antenna up in the air, you could turn your radio on, and you could talk to people in different parts of the country or different parts of the world. No wires, no internet, no infrastructure needed. It's you to them. To me, it is so cool. It is so cool. And just having the ability to do that, even if you don't do it right away. I'll tell you what, man, when I was a tech, when I first got my license, I strung up an antenna. I butchered a perfectly good G5RV antenna. Tried to make it a 10-meter antenna. It didn't work. But anyway, I finally figured it out. Put up an antenna, made contacts to Florida. I lived in California at the time. I made contacts on 10 meters to Florida. And it was my first HF contact. It was my first, I was a brand new tech. And holy crap, I was absolutely floored. Just hooked me right there. Studied, got my general, and then I was able to use the rest of the radio, or what I thought was the rest of the radio. And I thought for a long time, hey, I have no need to ever go any further. Then I got involved in my local club out there, and I became president of the club, and I got shamed into doing the extra. Spent a month studying for extra, took the test, passed, been an extra since. And I highly recommend that too. You learn a lot and you get the extra bandwidth. You don't have to worry about where you're going anywhere. Let's see. Next question. Sean says he got a Kenwood TK883. Barely any info of what software it uses. Do you have a go-to place to look for software? I'm not familiar with the Kenwood TK880, so kind of hard for me to say, man, Google searches, or if you don't like Google, DuckDuckGo. And that doesn't track you and send you ads for everything that you search on. And I don't think they collect the info. Maybe they do. I don't know. But anyway, I would just start doing some internet searching, and you'll find some stuff. I don't know what kind of software you're looking for specifically, if you're looking for logging software, if you're looking for stuff to use digital like FT8 or RIDI or PSK, or what. So without more information, kind of hard for me to say where to go. Let's see. Mr. Rice says, boo Spud. Bob better. Oh, him. Any of it, your call, not mine. Yes, send her back. I don't know what that means. I don't know what send her back means. Let's see. Monzi's telling me the Spudmeister. That's okay. I'll tell you what, guys. The Grand French Fry still in my book. I'm still the Grand French Fry. So my bastard child Garrett is still in the lead. Let's see. Steve says good afternoon. Steve, how you doing? Kelly, my neighbor, he just got in. Did I get the hand brace due to the fall at lunch? Yep, I did. This is actually the wife's hand brace for her carpal tunnel. I've just got that on. I didn't break it, Kelly. I had full motion. It just started hurting like a son of a bitch. So immobilized it and kind of went on with my day. I should probably be out of this thing completely in the next couple of days. But yep, at lunch. Let's see. VK Radio Ham is in the house. We'll just see who else is in the house. Did snow come in handy when you got rid of the hot chip? Nope, it didn't. You know what? It kind of upset things for a day, and that was about it. Otherwise, the hot chip actually didn't. It wasn't that hot for, probably for the first 15, 20 minutes after I ate it. It was pretty hot, and you guys could tell because I couldn't even get the review going until, several minutes into it. But really, after about 15, 20 minutes, it started to settle down to the point where I was able to talk and kind of talk about the ID52. Speaking of which, yes, there will be more ID52 videos coming. I'll kind of dive into the radio. I'll do a complete review, and I will also do the side-by-side with the ID51 because I know plenty of you guys that are ICOM fans or guys that have bought the ID51 however many years ago you bought it. You're probably wondering, if you haven't already picked up your 52, is it worth it? So we'll go into all that. Is it worth it? Let's see. Steve says, yeah, Steve says that he thinks I'm still burping from that chip. Not burping from the chip anymore. That's just from life. Covian is in the house. Says, hey, Radman, PNW DMR is big in the Pacific Northwest. It may be in your region too. KJ7JIP. Jim. Yeah, Jim, DMR at least in the Magic Valley here, I don't even know of a DMR repeater around here. So DMR is not so popular. Here, Fusion is king. And then, like I said, there's a one D-Star repeater over in Jerome. So that I don't think that D-Star repeater gets nearly the use that that the fusion repeaters get. I mean, we've got so many fusion repeaters in the area, and they're all linked together throughout Idaho. That literally, when you get on one of those repeaters, back in California, where I lived in California, you got on the repeater and you announced, and it was a local repeater, even on the digital side for the most part. And you would say, K6UDA mobile or whatever you wanted to say. Here, when you announce, it's K6UDA Twin Falls, because the next guy you might talk to is just as likely to be, in Coeur d'Alene, Boise, or Idaho Falls as being right here in the Magic Valley. So much broader reach here on the fusion side. Let's see. Let me go through some of these. Proposal. From Kelly. And Kelly's one of those super smart guys. And a backbone here in the Magic Valley, in Twin Falls, in the local radio club. He says, and Mrs. K6UDA.
Hello, guys. Hey, I'll see you later, sweetie.
Okay, hon. Love you. Back. Now let's remember where we were. Okay. Kelly says, there's a proposal before the FCC to allow text voice privileges on some more of the HF bands, but it hasn't been enacted yet. And it might be a while before something like that is approved, if it ever gets approved. But yeah, something to think about. But the upgrade to me is well worth it. It took me, when I studied, I got an app on my phone and I studied just the right answers, the question pool, the right answers, and took practice tests. When I finished and I was ready to go take the test, I had studied for 1 week, and I studied hard for 1 week. I went and took the test, got my tech license, immediately jumped into the hobby, started learning, and that's how I learn. I learn by doing. I don't learn by reading. So to the guys that say, oh no, you got to study for, until you know this stuff. A lot of us do not learn. There's different learning styles, and we ain't going into that. But I don't learn by looking at a book. I learn by doing things. And that's really the only way that I retain stuff. So for me, I went out, got my license, then I was able to get my feet wet, learn some things. And when I figured out that whole thing about HF, when I saw it, and I did, after that, before I got my general, I did go to field day and had such a ball because I was able to operate all over the bands. Got me firmly hooked field day. So look for field day coming up. Actually, I believe it's the 29th and the 30th, coming up this month is winter field day. So if you've got a club near you, contact the club if you want to try to play on HF at winter field day. You can go anywhere on the bands. You can talk to people in like all 50 states. Very, very cool. I guarantee if you're interested, it'll pique your interest. Let's see. Sean says he has a tech license. He's going to wait till he's out of his parents' house to upgrade since he's not allowed to drill holes. Sean, you don't need to drill any holes. A lot of antennas and a lot of stuff you could play with outdoors. You could get into QRP. You can set something up in the garage. You can do temporary antennas. You do not need to cut holes in the house or drill holes in the house or make permanent modifications. So if that's the only thing that's keeping you from upgrading, get your upgrade. Because that's half the battle right there. Is once you've got your general, now the world is opened up. The world is your oyster. Let's see. Let me read through some of these. Let's see. Scott says, and Idaho, at least I've got some snow to sit in. Yep. That kept the butt kind of nice and let's see. Steve says K6 UDA, and now you need to sign up as a VE. I am a VE. I became a VE shortly after I got my my extra. Kind of got shamed into that, and then I was very active as a VE in California for several years until I really got going doing this channel. And once I got going doing this, it kind of monopolizes a lot. I'll tell you guys, you really don't realize how much time the YouTubers, the big YouTubers, Josh and Eric and Jason, the small YouTubers, the guys that have 500 or 1,000 subscribers, you don't realize how much time we take to put these videos together, to put this. Yeah, I mean, this is live. I do it off the cuff, and I love it because I get to basically talk to you guys. As a matter of fact, we'll open up the call-in lines if anybody wants to call in. 208-352-3819 is the call-in line, or you could jump on that Ecamm Live link with any smartphone or computer or whatever that has a camera and be a live guest right now. Let's see. Let me go through here. Timothy says he has an 80 meter half wave dipole running north and south. What's my next antenna? Excuse me. Well, Timothy, that's kind of up to you. I actually have a 80 meter dipole strung up outside Studio A right now, running east and west. And it's not because north or south is any better or east or west is any better. It's because I've got tall trees running east and west. I don't have any trees running north and south. So that's really the main reason there's a dipole up east and west here. My next antenna here for Studio A is a DX Commander Classic because I wanted to do a vertical and I wanted to try out the DX Commander. It's winter here. There's permafrost and snow on the ground. I'm not going to start playing with the DX Commander here in the snow on my lawn over here. So I'm going to wait until the snow melts and then maybe I'll be able to hammer some stakes into the ground and get that thing up in the air. But I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see. New tech. Raul, new tech here. KI5 NQC, congratulations, Raul. Enjoying the hobby. Recently bought an ICOM mobile radio for my car, and I'm sure I'm going to need to get some wire. What gauge wire should I buy? Okay. You don't need super thick wire. 12 gauge wire is more than adequate for the car. it's a 50-watt radio. Nothing like the sound of dead air, huh? Guys. 12 gauge radio should do you just fine. That's what I've got in all my vehicles, just so I could get to a fuse box, or like in the case of the Jeep, it runs up. I've got wiring running from a pod up in the overhead that powers up everything, and so it runs out under the hood and back into the cab, and I can power stuff on and off from that light pod in there. Maybe we'll go through some of the wiring and some of the stuff for different mobile applications in another video. Let's see. What is my favorite barrel length for the AR-15? You did say nothing is off the table. Well, Fire Guy, another old kind of, I would say now, neighbor in the next town over in California. It depends upon my mission. For my general, I'll call it battle rifle now. It was my patrol rifle. I got a fairly long barrel because I needed and wanted that dead accuracy at up to 200-300 yards. Not that I'm necessarily taking that shot, but I wanted it, if I needed to take that shot, to be able to have my groups be that tight. And guys, if any of you are lefties, that is not a white supremacist sign. That is okay. That means okay. International sign for scuba diving. Okay, because you can't talk underwater with a regulator in your mouth. So you have to have hand signs. But that also means that that's my group in firearms. I recently put together a little rifle with a very small barrel on it. I don't know why. It was just kind of a cool thing to do. It's a pistol, an AR pistol. Is that a serious rifle or a serious contender for me for an AR platform? I don't know. It's more of a novelty. The super short barrels, I guess, they have their place. If you're room clearing on a regular basis, if that's kind of your mission, I would say that shorter barrel is going to be an advantage in that situation. Moving outside, moving into any kind of length, I think that argument quickly goes away. Let's see. Jerry asked, would like to see the side-by-side between the ID51 and the ID52. Jerry, you're just in luck because that's coming up. One of these weeks. I'm working on another video right now, but that's on the table and coming soon. Oh, look at that. Oh, we almost had a call.
K6UDA from W6HER. Just wanted to say good morning, Bob, from Rancho. Awesome show. W6HER.
All right, W6HER, K6UDA. Thanks for dialing up here on the YouTubers room here on Wires X. Oh yeah, here we got Bob. Bob is joining. Bob is in the guest room.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And We're going to add Bob. Bob, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
All right, thanks.
No audio
first time
from you.
I've heard about this. I stumbled across it on Facebook.
Oh, you did? Well, good to have you. What, you have a question, comment, anything on your mind?
We're breaking up a little bit here.
Yeah, you're kind of freezing up, but you have anything on your mind, Bob?
No, I just was listening in and I heard about somebody talking about, setting up antennas. And I dropped something in the comment box, but you can always use a small loop antenna inside.
Absolutely. That was, I think that might have been Sean, asking about, or saying he didn't want to drill any holes through the house or his parents' house. Yep. Loop antennas are a great option. And you could set them up in the house and use that. Hey, thanks for jumping in there, Bob. Good to see you. Let's see. Let me go through some of the, hang on here. Bob's back. Bob is back here. Okay, Bob, you're back. You're on the air.
Yeah, I just shut down some of the other things that were running on the computer. I don't think I had the bandwidth I needed.
Okay. But yeah, good point. A mag loop is a great option for somebody that wants to run a temporary antenna and either can't put one up because of, say, HOAs, or they live in an apartment. Yeah. Anything else, Bob?
No, that's it. With the breakups, I think I may go back to Facebook and watch you there.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Okay.
All right, 7-3. Okay. Hey, very cool. Had a guest in there. Always open for more guests. Let's see. My friend Kelly down the street. He says Boise is the closest DMR repeater that he's aware of. Yeah, I didn't even know where there was one. I figured there would be at least a couple in the area. Scott says it would be nice if there was a radio with built-in M17 mode. I don't know what M17 mode is. So, educate us, Scott. Let's see. He says M17 open source digital modulation. All right, there we go. Mr. Scotch Pie says the UK Foundation license, they have voice HF privileges, but QRP max 10 watts. Okay. And you know what? That's kind of a cool deal because you get your feet wet. And then, yeah, if you want to run more power, I understand the UK licenses are quite a bit more intense than what we have here in the US. Let's see if camera number 1. Nope, that's blank. Let's reach over there. We'll get that one going. And don't want that radio up. Now do we? That's just guys talking to each other locally. Let's see. Scott also says, in his opinion, your ticket is a license to learn. Get the ticket, then learn. Yep, absolutely. I agree 100%. Get your license, then you'll learn. I'm still learning. I absolutely do not know I do not know everything. I don't know. I scratched the surface of this. I'm kind of one of those guys. I know a little bit about several subjects in ham radio, but man, by all means, I am not. A lot of times I go, I am not the guy you guys should be looking to for inspiration or information about this hobby because, man, I'm just like you. I don't know what the hell I'm doing half the time. Dustin says he's taking his General Wednesday. Congratulations. Good for you. Let us know what you're doing. Wow. Kind of behind here. Let me try to pick up. Let's see. Yes. Garrett. Garrett says he thinks the Idaho QSO party is coming in this spring. And yes, it is, Garrett. And if you haven't upgraded and if I haven't given you an HF rig by that time, drive on down and come work the Idaho QSO party here in Studio A. Speaking of Studio A, Studio B is starting to take shape. I've actually gone in. I've cleared all the ham radio gear out of there from the shelves, and we've cut in new can lights in the ceiling, and getting ready to throw some paint on the walls next week. I've got all the wood cut for the wraparound desk in Studio B. Getting ready. I'm going to put the K6 UDA Fusion repeater back on the air. I got a new set of cans. I'll be bringing that to you. And I'm going to do, I'm filming stuff of putting Studio B together. I mean, literally, guys, this one I am going to put together from the ground up, from a concrete floor and 4 walls to building a full shack. And I'm going to take you guys along for the ride on that one. Let's see. Dustin says, take your time on the general exam. Do not rush. Or no, Mr. Rice says that. Yeah, there's no need to rush through the general exam. The general exam actually, like I said, I studied for it on my iPhone, downloaded an app. Took me a week of studying after I had my tech to get my general. So it wasn't much harder, if at all any harder, than the tech. The extra was quite a bit more intense. So if you're going to take your extra, and by all means, if they give you the opportunity when you take your general, once you pass that, a lot of VE groups will give you the opportunity to go on and take that extra test. Unless you're under a serious time crunch, don't be afraid to fail it. It's a free look at the exam, and you might remember one or two of those questions, and that might help you. And who knows? You might get lucky and pass it and be an extra, all in one shot. Let's see. First contact on 10 meters from Connecticut to New Mexico. We'll sub and watch. Doc Holiday, thanks for stopping by and participating in the show. Marty says he's got an 80-foot tower with a big beam. That's my, 80-foot tower with a big beam. That's my next antenna. Well, how about my 40-foot crank-up tilt-over tube, the MH40, and a step IR urban beam That's all sitting out there in the shop next to Studio B. And once the permafrost goes away, I'm going to dig my hole. I'm going to pour my concrete and get the tower up, and then get that beam put together and start getting Studio B on the air. I think that's going to be a lot of fun too. I can't wait for that. Let's see. You didn't go for the nebula? I don't know what the nebula is. Let's see. Arthur says, come on, get in there. Good morning from Rancho Cordova. Man, I spent my formative years, my high school and just after high school years in Rancho Cordova, bought my first house on my own in Rancho Cordova. So that was kind of cool. Rancho, as we used to, well, I won't even say it here. Arthur, you know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Good morning, Bob, from Ron. Am I going to quartzite N6XT? No. Unfortunately, Ron, not going to quartzite this year. Wish I was. We kind of went over that earlier today or earlier in the show. Mrs. K6 UDA's dad is in the hospital, so she's heading out this week to California. I will probably follow next week out to California, and we've got to take care of some stuff out there. So, the motorhome's kind of snowed in out here. So, not comfortable driving it through any kind of icy road conditions. And the road conditions have been really icy around here. So, I'm not going to chain that thing up. So maybe next year, hopefully next year. Let's see. James Porth asks, my favorite handgun and caliber. Am I a 1911? Yes, I am a 1911 guy. I am a Springfield fan. I own 2 Springfield TRPs. I own an XDS that I carried off duty. I carried the TRPs and an operators on duty for years and years. Full size 45s. The XDS I carried off duty and as a backup when I was working for the longest time. I recently swapped out to a Glock when I started teaching. When I started teaching firearms and I started working with BDS Technologies as a firearms instructor, their whole system is Glock based with the simulator and everything. So they talked me into buying into the Glock system. I got a Glock 17. It was ugly as hell. I highly modified it just so I would not puke every time I looked at it or held it. And then started getting used to it. And then I bought a Glock 19, a custom built Glock 19. And I carry that now about 80% of the time. The only reason I carry the Glock over a 1911 on a daily basis now is capacity. I mean, I've got 15 rounds versus 7 or 8 rounds in the in the 1911. And I get it. I know big 45 holes versus little 9mm holes. But with the advances in ammo in the past 10 years, the 9mm ammo is extremely effective. And plus, I get the round count. And in these days, carrying on the daily, I see the need for having a bigger round count without having to swap magazines constantly. But yeah, at heart, I'm a 1911 guy. Let's see. James Porth, amateur radio and firearms. Two great hobbies. Thank you. Yes. What is the YouTuber's YSF ID? Okay. YouTubers is on its FCS, not YSF. So you'll have to switch your hotspot over to FCS 003/48 or room 48. I just haven't set up a YSF side. Maybe I will. I don't know. Bill Millar from Northern Ireland. Man, we've got Scotland. We've got Ireland. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. We got VE land, too. So lots of DX in the house. That is awesome. Love seeing you guys there. Let's see. Personally, we have coming up here. Yeah. TC Fitz, super chat. He likes the FTM 400. However, the lack of squelch knobs makes me think he'll miss them. Any opinion for or against? You do have squelch knobs. Press the button or hit the... I have over here. Well, and you can't really see it. I get it. Let me go to camera 1, maybe a little better. I have it. I have squelch programmed down on my bottom panel here. I can hit squelch and now everything turns to squelch. Turn it back and it goes back. So don't let that fool you. Don't let that bar you from enjoying your FTM 400 or buying it. The thing is all of these manufacturers, they got to make allowances. The heads are small, so they're not, so you don't have a million buttons on the front. So everything's got to do double duty. But anyway, you can make that, let's see. Garrett. Garrett says he did better on his general exam than he did on the tech. General is just an expansion of tech topics. Yeah, that's true. Nebula. Oh, the Nebula is DX, is the DX Extreme 18-meter mast. Okay. I had Callum on the show. He suggested the DX Commander Classic as a great antenna for my purposes. I've seen the DX Commander Classic. One of the local guys here brought one to field day last year. I got to talk on it. I got to play with it. And fantastic antenna. I was very, very impressed. Kind of wanted one. So that's kind of what I got, and that was really on the 100 mm. 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 on the advice of Callum. So, you know, I can't wait to get that thing put together. That'll be another video. I've got a lot of things in the fire that I need to do. I've just got to find time. It's got a lot of stuff to do around here. Frankly, there's a lot of stuff. Ron says, for AK7RM, that's Monzi, by the way. He's got to put his antenna system back together, A10 through 80. Let's see. Robert says that he sent me an email with a photo of a loop antenna that he built for a friend in the Army. He fired the 1911 and M14 plus other things. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I will take a look for the email. I don't remember it offhand. Maybe it was a while ago. But sometimes I miss emails. I got like 7 different email addresses, and I use them for different things. It's kind of I've got a junk mail account, or a couple of junk mail accounts. I've got email accounts that I use for specific kinds of things. So it's not uncommon for me to miss emails, especially when you get as much junk mail as most of us are getting. Let's see. The mech teacher, he enjoys the 1911 and his black powder flint and cap. I have a black powder pistol. I've never used it. Someday I'm going to learn. I've always said I wanted to try the cap and ball stuff. And, you know, man, it's so cool that there at least a few of you guys are 2A guys around here and into that, because that's something that I'm going to be starting very, very soon, is a proper podcast, but it's not going to be a ham radio podcast. It's going to be kind of a LEO 2A podcast kind of a thing. And about, about the laws, about our rights, about firearms and 2A concentric kind of stuff. So, you know, if you want to see that, drop a comment in there. Wow, we're at 13:09 already. And we've got, again, in the super chats. Boom. From one retired LEO to another, he enjoys seeing someone else tell it like they see it. And he's enjoying the stream. Steve, thank you. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. 50 people on the stream, 39 thumbs up. If you haven't already thumbs up the video, man, please do. It's awesome. It does help. It actually does help more than you guys know. Let's see. The DX Commander is the best antenna other than a Yagi at 70 feet that he's seen. Yeah, I was impressed with the DX Commander. Mine, like I said, it's still in the shop. I'm not putting it up in the snow. So when it thaws out a little bit more, I'll put it up. And plus, like when I walked outside this morning, it was 18 degrees. So not the kind of stuff that I want to be putting antennas up. Flagpole antennas work. Yeah, and I use a flagpole antenna on my motorhome. And that to me is one of the most efficient antennas that I've used. I use for some of it, I use a 64-to-1 transformer and a 64-foot piece of wire, and that gets me no tune, 40 through 10. So that one works really good. Let's see. Robert Batchelor says he used the QRZ email address. And yeah, if you use the QRZ email address, it should get to me. So we'll see. And he's involved in the Long Island CW Club. And I've heard good things about that. I'm still waiting for my CW machine to come in from PrepCom. And hopefully that's going to help me learn CW. Because Lord knows I've tried on my own. And I get it. Yes, guys have said, do Samuel Morris, do the Long Island Club, one of the classes. I just don't have the consistent time to commit, and I understand that. I fully get it. So if I don't have the time to commit, I can't commit. Let's see. And Garrett wants to definitely watch the 2A podcast. Justin also wants to see or hear the podcast. Let's see. Ron's is not going to Quartz Fest this year. And the mech teacher says it is 60 and sunny in Spring, Texas. Well, good for you, because it's like, let's just see what the old weather station. Oh, it's a beautiful, balmy 27 degrees here at the Southern Idaho Command. So good for me. 27, sunny and beautiful. And hopefully the sun is shining on all my lawn area and kind of making that snow disappear. Yes, I know, Andy. We are way over the hour. And I've had a great time today. It kind of got away from me. So let's just go ahead and stick up the end screen here and say, man, I get that music going. It's just kind of cool. I love this Rodecaster Pro. This thing is awesome. Anyway, guys, we'll just say, hey, thank you very much for joining me, for having 50 people join me. Spur of the moment. Never advertise it, never anything. And I love doing these Q&As. You guys bring your questions. Write them down. Send them to me, and I'll have more to talk about. And other people here. I love the fact that some of you guys jump in and you have the answers to the questions that we all have here. Very, very cool. I want to thank all my patrons, the few that I have, because you guys, you are the heart and soul of what keeps the channel on the air. Please, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, do that. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down in the right-hand corner of your screen somewhere. Hit the subscribe button. YouTube sure as hell isn't promoting my videos. I need you to do it. Please share the videos. Please comment on this if you're watching this on the replay side. And for those of you that did join me, thank you so much, dudes. You guys rock. Anyway, guys, I'm Bob, K6UDA. This has been another live stream